Hello, I'm Nicole. Come on in. We are about to get started on our Ceviche de Pescado and Aguachile de Camarón class. Before I start, I just want to thank listen to me. I just want to thank Northgate for inviting me to be a part of the Northgate team and this cooking class. This is a free class that is offered to the community, and it is my absolute pleasure to be a part of it. So to kick that off, I'm going to have a little traguito of 1921 tequila. And if you are home and cooking with me, salud.
It's all because you're celebrating your birthday.
You're right, Devin. I'm still in that mind frame. I'm like, oh, we're celebrating. Okay, so let me start by saying, before we do anything, we are going to start with our fish and our shrimp. So I don't know if you're cooking with me, but if you are, I hope that you bought your shrimp already deveined and butterflied at Northgate. Like, how genius is this? That I love this. This takes all of the hassle out of
My
the
favorite.
process. So I'm just gonna pour this into the sink because there's a little liquid and I don't want that on my table. So give me 1 second. But I wanted to show the bag. All right. And plus I'm going to give my shrimp a little bit of a rinse. Just because they've been hanging out. Okay. Now that we've got that sorted, I am going to weigh my shrimp because we're going to start by obviously cooking the shrimp and cooking the fish. So let me see how much this weighs. Put it in a bowl. Put this one in a bowl and I'm going to weigh it because for the aguachile, that's what we are going to cook the shrimp in some lime juice. So I want to do about 1.5 pounds of shrimp. Look at that, you guys. I'm already almost going to cook the shrimp from the package to the bowl. Like, I would have been here an hour cleaning shrimp. Love this, that I love this. Okay.
It's my favorite shrimp.
Is it the Mexican shrimp?
That's already deveined and ready to go.
Oh my God. I was like, this is genius. Thank you, Northgate. I love it. Yeah, it is. It's a game changer for sure. Okay, so to start, we are going to start by cooking the shrimp in 3/4 lime juice. And I have my lime juice. This is, you guys, this is for the aguachile and for the ceviche. And this is about 30 limes. 30. Like, that was fun today. So I'm just going to pour 3/4 cup of lime juice right over the top of this shrimp so that we could put it inside of the refrigerator to cook for 20 minutes while we do all the other prepping. So it's covered. And let me just give it a mix so that I can make sure it's all covered. So what happens is the lime juice cures the fish, and that's how you make ceviche. It never touches a flame. You know, I'm saying this out loud for anybody who's never made ceviche or aguachile. you cook it in lime juice. It basically means you cure the fish or the shrimp. So then it's really important to cover the top with plastic wrap. Can you hand me a piece? That way the plastic wrap will touch the top and keep the lime juice in the bowl. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and place this in the fridge. And then we're gonna do the same to the fish. Okay, there you go. So for the fish, I'm also gonna use about 1.5 pounds, and I'm using the red tilapia, and the reason I'm using that one is because it usually comes without the pilling. So it really allows you to cut the fish easily. You don't have to worry about peeling away the pilling, but I have another little trick for you. In order to get your fish perfectly cut and not mushy, you par freeze it. And I say par freeze it, meaning you only leave it in the freezer for, I'd say, about 30 minutes. And that really gets your fish firm. So when you cut it, it doesn't get mushy. And you have these uniform pieces that are really easy. I'm going to show you. I'll bring some out of the freezer, but I want to get this fish cooking. So again, I'm going to put some fish. This is about 1.5 pounds. In a bowl, and I'm going to top it with 3/4 of a cup of lime juice. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm so excited about this. I'm going to have such an amazing dinner tonight. Okay, let's see. So here we go. I hear a helicopter outside of my house, and I'm just like, please don't be the tornado. That tornado happened 2 miles from my house that day.
Really?
Really?
I saw everything it did. So you live by Montebello?
Yeah, I live in East LA.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. So, and here's my plastic wrap. I have a little elf that pulls plastic wrap for me. He clears the space. Okay, so that way the liquid comes to the top. It keeps the pieces on top cooking, and we are going to put this in the fridge as well. And in 10 minutes, we'll give it a stir. I have the rest over here reserved. I promised I was going to show you. I promised I was going to show you how to cut the fish. So I'm going to grab the fish out of the freezer just to show you guys the consistency and what it should look like. All right. So I can feel there's like a little bit of icy pieces on it. That's okay. The key really is to use a really sharp knife as well. And with the aguachile, it's more forgiving, but with the ceviche, I feel like everything needs to be uniform. So here's a piece of my tilapia. And like I said, I used the red because it comes without the skin, so it's easier. And I'm just going to take a knife and slice it. Make sure you have a sharp knife. And then I cut it the width of 1 finger, which is about 1/2 inch, into long strips like this. And see how easy that's cutting for me? Like I'm not having any problems cutting the fish. And when I don't par freeze it, because it's only been in the freezer for about 1/2 hour, I have a harder time cutting the fish. So I just wanted to share this little tip with you. If you want uniform pieces, this is how you get them. And then you can just cut, and it's easy. You don't have mushy pieces. Look at this. Every piece is perfect. So if you want your ceviche to be uniform, this is how you do it. Okay. I'm going to put this away. I just wanted to share that little tip with you. So again, with ceviche, everything is uniform. I feel like when you are making ceviche, you want all of the pieces to basically be the same size. I'm gonna get to that now. So let's start making our mixture for the ceviche. Let me grab a bowl. And I don't know if you have my recipe in front of you, but I'm gonna also keep it right here so that you and I are looking at the same exact thing. And I'm gonna start with 3/4 of a cup of lime juice. And then the rest will be the aguachile. Do we have any questions so far? No?
No, and I'm going to put the ingredients in the chat. And for all of you guys that joined us, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it either in the chat or in the Q&A, and I'll be happy to get any questions to Nicole.
Yay. Okay, so I'm going to start with all the wet ingredients for my ceviche. I'm going to start with 3/4 of a cup of lime juice, and then I'm also going to juice a regular whole orange to give it just a little bit of sweetness. So go ahead and juice that. I like adding fresh orange juice to this because it brightens up the flavor. I know in the past I've seen people do all sorts of different variations to add orange to it, even adding orange soda or squirt. I feel like the natural is the best for me. Okay. This orange was so big and juicy. I can't even squeeze it in here. Do you use orange in yours, Tere?
Actually, yeah, a little bit of orange and lime. And we have a question. Why do you prefer to use lime juice, or is using lemon juice okay as well?
You can definitely use lemon juice if you'd like. I feel like lime juice cuts a little bit more. Lemon juice isn't, it's citrusy, but it's not as citrusy. The lime juice is a little more cutting. But if you have lemon juice, you can cook it in lemon juice, and you can do it, I'd say maybe like 30 minutes instead of 20. I'm gonna cook mine for 20. I'm also not gonna use the lime juice that I cooked my shrimp or my fish in. I'm gonna discard that. That's why I'm making a new batch here, so that this is our new batch of citrus. But like I said, you are more than welcome. It's also a preference. You can even use grapefruit if you'd like. So any citrus. Orange is for flavoring, but for cooking, it's definitely lime, lemon, or grapefruit. Okay, so now after I have lemon and orange juice, I'm gonna add 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. And this is just gonna thicken up the sauce a bit. And I'm gonna use a tablespoon of Pico Pica. You're really welcome to use any hot sauce that you have on hand, and I have several. Like you could use tapatio, you could use Mexico Lindo, you could use Pico Pica. And I'm using Pico Pica because that's my preference today. All right. And then I'm going to use, let's see, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Just mix that right in. Some salt and pepper. So here's my pepper. And that's also a preference. If you like a lot of pepper, go crazy. And if not, just a little will do. And about 1/2 tablespoon of salt. And I'm just going to whisk this all together. So I also feel like this is something that you have to taste as you go. Just because sometimes the limes are more sour than other times, or the orange is really sweet. So I like to taste as I go. Let me just grab a little spoon so I can see how that is. I like it. Okay. Just gonna wash my hands. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes. I feel like the tomatoes really should go in first of all the ingredients so that they could start to absorb some of the salt and the flavor of this marinade. And this is 2 cups of tomatoes. And like I said before, everything is pretty much uniform. This is 3/4 of a cup of red onion. And I'm also going to use some minced jalapenos. So this is 2 jalapenos. I felt like they were really big, so it looks like a lot. So I'm gonna add just a little for now, and then if I need more after, I have them cut. And 1/2 cup of cilantro. So this is our base. This is our base. I'm just gonna mix that up. And then once my fish is ready, I will add that in. I'm also going to add in some mango. I'm also going to cut up some mango. And today we are going to add peanuts. So I'm going to add peanuts to this ceviche. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I've had the most incredible Peruvian ceviche, and they usually add peanuts, and I love that. I love that little taste. And if I know some people are not partial to peanuts, so that's not something that they would want to add. But another alternative is corn nuts. You can add corn nuts as well, and these little crunchy elements just it's really nice. It's a really nice accent to the ceviche. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these peanuts in. This is 1/2 cup, and they're just roasted, salted peanuts. Okay. And then for my mango, just gonna cut up this mango. And I know everybody has a different way of cutting mango. For me, this is the easiest way. I just like to take a potato peeler and peel it. This one smells so good. The mangoes are so beautiful right now at Northgate. I was there today to pick up all my supplies and I had to buy a couple of extra mangoes for late night snack, for TV watching, or any excuse I could come up with. And oh, by the way, the Northgate over on Tweety, that's the one that I usually like to shop at if I'm gonna film, was packed today,
Really?
which made me so happy. Like, I think it's the community was just everyone was in there today. I was like, wow. Maybe it's the time I went, but it was really, really crowded. I like shopping with other people. And the ceviche station, I'm not the ceviche station, the capirotada station was just so filled with everything a girl needs for her capirotada, or he, or them, or they.
Are we gonna make some tomorrow?
I am. I'm gonna do the picon. That's my favorite. And Northgate is the only store that I know that sells that sells the picon. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So like I said before, I like to make sure that all of the pieces are uniform. So again, I'm gonna just do, this is a little smaller than 1/4 of an inch, but still. The mango's really sweet, so I'm cutting it a little bit smaller. Oh, God. Any reason to eat mango, I'm there.
I love mango too. It's one of my favorite fruits.
Oh my God, it's so good. Okay. This is smelling so delicious. And the peanuts and the mango. And next I'm gonna add avocado. Are really calling my name. Okay, let me just add a little bit more mango. And once I make this, we are going to give our fish and our shrimp that are in the fridge a little spin. We're gonna spoon them, mix them so that they could continue cooking. But I just want to get this done first because we have some time. Do I have any questions? Okay. All right. If you are cooking at home along with me, this might be a good time to take a sip of your tequila.
Nicole's happy, everybody, because she's joined the 50 club this weekend.
I did. I turned 50 and it's a great place to be, I got to admit. Okay, look at this, you guys. The color's so bright. It's so pretty. Like once the fish gets in there, oh my God, it's gonna be so good. Okay, before we get that in there, let me also add my avocado. I'm gonna have a drink of them. I rarely eat on the job, so I can't resist because all of the ingredients are so fresh and healthy for us. Look at that perfect avocado. Again, just uniform. Oops. Just cutting big old pieces, just trying to scoop that whole thing in there. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop all of this avocado into my bowl. Let me pull it over so you can see. Yum. Anybody want to come over and have some ceviche and aguachile? Because there's going to be a lot.
Yeah. If we plan on serving the ceviche hours after preparing, could we add the avocado or should we wait until we are going to serve?
I would, well, the lime in the avocado, oops, the lime in the sauce will keep your avocado from turning brown, so that's not a problem. But me personally, I probably would add the avocado right before serving. But if I had leftover, I wouldn't be afraid that the avocado was going to turn black or anything because the lime will preserve its color and it'll be good. Even if it gets slightly mushy, it's just going to add to the texture of the sauce, which nobody's going to be mad about it. But good question. I like that question. I'm going to eat this probably as soon as the class is over, so I'm not worried about it. Like, yes, chili avocado. Okay. Okay. So, and get that bone out of there. I'm just going to mix that in. Can you bring out the shrimp and the fish so that I could give it a mix, please? Thank you. The man behind the scenes. Okay. So you can see they still have a little while, but you could see that the color's changing. I'm going to go ahead and give this another mix so that the shrimp on the bottom can come up to the top. I should have used a bigger bowl, but that's okay. Probably going to let this cook for another, I'd say another 10 minutes. And then it should probably be done. That looks good. Happiness. Happiness is when you don't have to turn on the stove. So yes, this is the perfect dish for Lent, but it's also the perfect dish for a summer day. Can be made ahead of time. Okay, so this is still. This one needs a little bit more time. And they'll also continue to cook in the sauce that we made, but I just like to do it apart as well. All right, now let me just wash my hands. And we'll start our aguachile. Have another bite of this mango. Mhm. Okay. Now let's start on the aguachile. So with the aguachile, I feel like I am going to make a version that's not too spicy, but obviously this is, again, preference. So if you want to make it hot, you can add extra chiles to this. You can also, aside from the green chilies, you could add in a little chile de árbol if you wanted to. I'm going to try to keep it simple. I had one person DM me and tell me that every time they make aguachile, it's just too hot. It's unbearable because it gets so hot. So we're going to make a toned down version, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so first we're going to get our ingredients in a blender. So this is the beginning of what we're going to do. And I'm going to add the rest of this lime juice. I believe that it's 3/4 of a cup right into my blender. And I'm going to use one jalapeno. Actually, I'll get to the jalapeno. I'm going to use 1/8 of a cup of olive oil, and 1/8 of a cup is essentially 2 tablespoons. I'm going to use 1/4 of a cup of water. I'm going to use 2 garlic cloves. And I'm going to use 1/2 of a serrano chile. I'm leaving the seeds and everything in there. And I'm going to use an entire jalapeno. And let me just cut this jalapeno into a few pieces so that it's easier for the blender to cut down. And again, I'm going to leave them with the seeds and everything in there. Oh boy. And then I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup of cilantro. And 1/2 of cucumber. So just give it some cut so that it'll be easier for the blender. I'm really nice to my blender. Like, oh, we don't want you to work that hard. And some salt. And pepper. And this is going to be the base of our aguachile. Okay.
I've never seen cucumber inside the thing. This is interesting. Something new I learned.
You never seen what?
When you put cucumber inside the...
Oh, the base of the aguachile?
Yeah, that sounds so good.
It'll just, I know that it's a way to lessen the heat, but it'll still have that flavoring, and we're gonna taste it. I have other pieces of chile here in case we want to make it a little hotter, but this is yeah, it's a way to freshen it up a bit. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this. Let me just get this out of the way, the scale too. And if you want to mute me, because this is going to be loud, feel free that it, but I'm going to turn this on and pulse it until it's smooth. Okay, now we're going to give this a little taste test because why wouldn't we? And some people will, I just want to see if I want to add more chili or not. Perfect. Like, I don't feel like it needs more chili. For me personally, this again is preference. If you want to add more chili, feel free. But it's up to you. You could always add chili flakes or other types of chili at the end. Okay, so I'm also going to strain this. That's also a preference. If you wanted to, you could leave it. But because I used cucumber, I feel like I need to strain it. Oh, look at that. The color's so pretty, and I put it in a green bowl. So now, just to get out any extra liquid, I'm just gonna stir it through the strainer. So any excess liquid could go through. And make sure that you push this against the screen. It looks like we're almost there. Okay. Yeah. And since we're already building, you can taste it at this point and see, does it need salt? It doesn't. It doesn't need anything really. Like I said, though, if you want yours a little hotter, feel free to add the entire serrano chili or 2 jalapenos. I used 1.5. Okay. So now I'm going to, let me just clean it up really quick. Can't have that mess here. Okay, now I'm going to add to this some red onion. So when our shrimp goes in, it just goes in easily. And I'm going to add in cucumber. So I'm just going to go ahead, put that down the middle. Do half moon and these sliced cucumbers. I'm going to do this entire. Can you please bring my molcajete, the little pig one? And I've seen all sorts of different vegetables added. I've also seen people do carrot shavings inside. I like to keep it simple, but carrot shavings, I'm not opposed to it, especially in the summer. or other pieces of chile. Like I'm gonna use the rest of my serrano and put it to decorate the top. And if you want to serve your aguachile fancy, you can cut a few cucumbers and just line the outside of your molcajete with that. So I'm going to do that really quickly. And then we'll bring out the fish and the shrimp and we'll get this party started. And just pop them up a little bit. Just looks fancy, and if you can entice your guest with a pretty bowl, they're most likely to eat it. Not that you need to entice anybody with ceviche or aguachile. Like that's calls everybody to the same room. Like, give me my chips, give me the tostadas. I need to eat that ASAP. Okay. So there I have it. Ready to be filled. This is great. Let me just bring out the shrimp. So the shrimps can go first. And just like that, it's already turned pink. So even though I'm probably going to leave it in the aguachile for a while longer, just to really get it turning pink, because there's still a little bit that's not quite there. Okay, let me grab my slotted spoon. And just so that I don't take any of the lemon or the lime that the shrimp was cooked in, I like to just take it out of there. I feel like if you add a fresh batch of lime juice, it really gives your aguachile a fresh taste. Sometimes the residue of the fish in the lime that it cooked in can be too fishy, and this really allows all the flavors to shine. So we're going to do the same with the fish. Give that a good mix. Happiness. This is happiness. And at this point, you can put this back in the fridge and let it chill for an hour, or you can eat it right away. So it's up to you. I'm going to let it sit in its juices for a little bit more. And in the meantime, now I'm going to do the fish. Bring this over here. Fish is nice and cured. And again, the same thing. I'm going to just take the fish out. Remember, this was a red tilapia. And the reason I chose it was because it doesn't have the skin on it, and it's easy to chop and easy to get right in to your bowl. These are all very fast dishes, and the only real labor is the chopping, but you can even do that the night before. I wouldn't recommend doing the fish the night before. Obviously, the fresher the fish, the better, but you could do the tomatoes for sure, or do this entire sauce for sure beforehand. I like the way the tomatoes taste if they've been marinating for a while. Okay. We're almost there. There's a few scragglies that want to stay behind, and that's okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this in. Oh my God. Look at that. How pretty is that color? I can see the peanuts, I could see the mango, the tomato. And if you wanted, you could even add cucumber to this. I let the peanuts be the crunchy. But look at that. Yay. All right, we have to try this. So here's the question. How do you eat your ceviche? Do you eat it on a chip or do you eat it on a tostada? How do you do it, Tere?
Ay, Dios, either or.
Either or?
But I personally, and you might laugh, I like to put mayonnaise on my tostada. And then
We have it. I'm not gonna
But
laugh,
that's-
nothing, girlfriend. I like it like that too.
don't judge me.
They'll be judging us because I'm about to spread mayonnaise on my tostada too. But yes.
And then I put some extra avocado on the top, and yeah, that's mine.
Happiness. Okay,
Yes.
so let's give this a spin. Estilo Tere with some mayonnaise on top. I'm making a crazy mess here. And you can do the whole thing. I don't want to do the whole thing now because then I won't stop eating it. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. But let's see. Actually, this is like a serious bowl of ceviche. Okay. So good, you guys.
Awesome.
Okay, let's try the aguachile. That's so delicious. Aguachile, I'm just gonna do on the best chips ever. These chips are so good, by the way. I can't go into Northgate without buying them. Or Bolillos. Hey. I didn't even put it in the molcajete. I'm just eating. Okay, let me try this.
Your poor cameraman is probably drooling back there. Where's mine? You had the tequila without me. Now you're having ceviche without me and aguachile without me.
I'm so happy right now. Let me just show you guys how to make your aguachile look pretty. And then we'll go from there. I'm gonna spoon some in. And then once I have all the pieces in, then I'm just going to take a little bit of the juice and pour it over the top. And you can also garnish with a few serrano chilies like this. Use a little, the pointy end of the chile so that you get these tiny, cute little rounds. Just put them there. Let them pop up. If somebody gets that on their chip, they'll burn their mouth, and that's the beauty of this.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this class.
This was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much to my friends over at Northgate, and especially to you, Tere. Super happy.
Thank you for sharing this hour with us. It was awesome. I learned some stuff. And more than anything, cheers. Cheers to many more, Nicole.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.